Hi, everyone, and welcome to Shellcast, the award-winning podcast that's a beach break for your ears. Listen along as we discover the best of Southwest Florida. We're located here in Lee County, Florida, about 2 hours south of Tampa. I'm your host, Jackie Parker, and I work for the Lee County Visitor and Convention Bureau. Today, we're on Captiva Island to kick off the 8th Island Hopper Songwriter Fest. Our thanks to our friends here at RC Otters on Andy Rossi Lane here in downtown Captiva for giving us a table here to do this episode of Shellcast. We've got a fantastic lineup of performers and guests to get you in the Island Hopper feel of things, including Dan Spears of BMI, the largest music rights organization in the U.S., Cindy Watts, a writer for Country Insider, CMT, and People magazine, singer-songwriter Sheena Brook, and all the way from Essex County, or from England, Essex County, and all the way from Tennessee, Kristian Bush. And we just want to give you a reminder that for the most up-to-date information on Island Hopper, check out our app, and it's available on the App Store and Google Play. It's your guide to all things Island Hopper. First, I'd like to introduce Sheena Brook. You caught our new intro, and that is courtesy to Sheena, and we want to talk to her about that, and we just thank her for being here. And she's going to be a performer, and she is really doing a lot of stuff to elevate Island Hopper this year. Hey, Sheena.
Hi. I appreciate that. That's great. Thank you for having me.
And this morning you were doing golf cart karaoke. Talk about that.
Yeah, my very first episode of golf cart karaoke. I was very happy that Kristian Bush agreed to be my guinea pig. and I think it's going to be great. We've got a couple more episodes, one more tomorrow, and then some on Fort Myers Beach. And we're going to go live and play some songs, and it's really fun.
So it's available on Instagram, on the Island Hopper page, and then also on your Instagram.
Yes, I'll go live on the Island Hoppers official Instagram page on Saturdays, and the other days will be on my page. And I put links everywhere, so it's easy to find, easy to watch. It's just really fun, nice time. Good way to get riled up and ready to come out here and watch these songwriters.
Sheena's our hometown girl. She was on season 12 of The Voice, and she just does amazing stuff for the community and loves Island Hopper.
I do.
What do you have going later this week with Island Hopper?
Here for Captiva, I'm really excited, and I'm just so lucky. Our town is always so good to me, so supportive of me. And I know Dan, who you're about to talk to, I'll get crazy ideas, and he always just goes, yeah, sure. One of those is at 2 o'clock today at Tween Waters. We are going to do a special round. It's a 4-man round, very Nashville style, of all LGBTQ artists. So we've got some amazing people. I just wanted to highlight that moment and that growth in the Songwriters Festival and the diversity that BMI always celebrates. And it's going to be great. It's going to be a pool party, a lot of good people there, allies, all kinds of people. It's going to be great.
And then later in the week, you're going to be at Fort Myers Beach.
Yep, and then I play the rest of the week, so I play Sunday here on Captiva, and then Fort Myers Beach gets kicking off, and I kick off Fort Myers Beach with my 5th year in a row hosting an all-girls round.
Right.
And I'm really excited about that I've been doing it so long, and so it's sort of like a kickoff party, and that's at the Diamond Head. It starts at 7, we go to 10 o'clock, and then Saturday night I'm hosting the after party, which is just a great jam session. So Fort Myers Beach is going to be great, too. It's 2 of the most incredible weekends of songwriting, and I just love that they bring it to our town in a time that there aren't a lot of people here, and it brings a lot of revenue to our businesses, and just us as locals gives us something to do, too.
And that's the whole reason Island Hopper started.
Yeah.
Because this is the 8th year for it, and this time of year is just sort of, they call it the shoulder season,
yeah.
And not a lot of tourism. And Nancy McPhee on the VCD came up with this idea and her team to do something like this, and here we are. What are you going to play for us today?
I am going to play. I wrote this song a couple years ago about Fort Myers Beach. I live there. I live on the island. I love this song so much, and maybe one of these days somebody will cut it, but we'll see.
What's it called?
It's called Small Town Paradise, and if you're here and you visit, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, we party on the beach, building bonfires. I go tearing off in my Jeep, digging holes with my tires. I love feeling that sand between my toes, catching those beads from the shrimp festivals. Stop right there, you've got to breathe in the southern air. Barefoot, tan lines, wild fishing in the moonlight. Been a lucky living right here for all my life in this small town paradise. Yeah. We work hard as hell, play even harder, I know. Yeah, we laying out in the water. I love feeling that sand between my toes, catching those beats from the shrimp fest floats. Stop right there, you've got to breathe in the southern air. Barefoot, tan lines, wild hearts, sunshine, top down, high tide. Load up the pontoon, take it for a ride. Cool off, Bud Light, we go fishing in the moonlight. Been a lucky living right here for all my life. I've been a lucky living right here for all my life in this small town paradise. Yeah, small town paradise. Woo! Thank you.
Thank you, Sheena. That was fantastic. You've got the debut single.
I do.
And tell us about that, the name of it.
The name is Bad Bitches Like Me.
Okay, and I just got to interject that I think that's the first swear word on any episode of podcast
So privileged
of Shellcast.
right now. You're about to get some more. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, I just released it. I haven't released music in about 2 years. It's a long story, but I'm really excited about it, to just kind of put some stuff out there that feels very authentic to me. And, you know, it's just about, even when you don't feel like a bad bitch, you're a bad bitch. You know, do your thing, be yourself. There's nothing that matters more than authenticity.
Five swear words. Okay, all right, we'll see what we're allowed to do on the podcast. All right. Okay, Sheena, thank you so much.
You.
And we're going to pitch it over to Dan Spears. Dan is the Vice President of Industry Relations for BMI in Nashville, and we thank him every year for bringing the best singer-songwriters here to Island Hopper. What makes this so special?
Wow. So many things, Jackie. Thank you, by the way, for having me. You know, in an overall sense, I don't think there's, and of course I'm biased, take that into consideration. There's nothing more entertaining, there's nothing more meaningful than hearing a song written by the songwriter themselves. It's a very profound, intimate way to connect with music. I think sitting down and watching Kristian or Sheena Brook tell the story behind the song that they've written, it allows you to connect with that music in a very special way. I mean, you suddenly have ownership of that song. So when they ultimately play it, you're all in. And I think there's a big distinction between that kind of experience than just going to and don't get me wrong, nothing wrong going to a U2 concert and sitting up in the rafters and sing along to their songs, but in that environment, you simply can't connect with the music the way you can at a songwriter festival. I think Island Hopper does it better than most festivals, in that a lot of the venues are very small and intimate. So there's no bad seat.
Right.
And everybody's right there in the front row connecting.
And, and it's every hour. Every hour there's a different performance. So you can wander down, we're here in, downtown Captiva, as I like to call it, and you can wander from Key Lime Bistro over to Mucky Duck and catch a show, every hour, or, meet up with your friends. It's like, Dan, you're going to go see, Nelson Cade over here, and I'm going to go see Sheena Brook over here, and we'll catch up later.
Yeah, I remember the very first year we did this. It's been an amazing partnership with your organization, iHeart, and BMI. And I remember very first year that we did this, I was talking to Nancy about it, and she said, I really want to go big or go home the first year. I said, are you sure you want to have all these shows taking place at the same time, concurrently? I said, because if we don't get a huge audience, you're going to be sort of cannibalizing the audience in each. You're going to have 5 people in one venue, 2 people in another venue. And boy, was I wrong, because you all decided to go big the very first year, and we had huge crowds the first year, and it's never stopped. So to your point, there's 3 or 4 shows going on at the same time. And it's pretty remarkable. It's been incredibly well supported.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And is there, anything memorable in your years of being here that stands out as like that was just a quintessential Island Hopper moment, or do they just kind of happen all the time?
Yeah, you're right. And I've been thinking about this in anticipation of speaking to you, just reflecting upon the 8 years that we've been doing it, and trying to decide, is there a moment or was there a moment? And I honestly think, to me, one of the most rewarding and cool things that's come out of this, since I've been very fortunate to be a part of curating the lineup every year.
Yeah.
And I've always tried to focus, and this year more than any year, on creating a diverse lineup.
Yeah.
You know, not just ethnically or racially or sexual orientation or gender, but also genres, right? Although it's fairly country focused, we've got Latino songwriters, we've got Americana songwriters, we've got pop and rock songwriters. I think the most interesting thing that happens at this festival that may not happen elsewhere is all these different genres are mushed together, and what the people don't see is what happens behind the scenes. Many of the songwriters are living in houses together, and suddenly a Latino songwriter like an Elston Torres becomes friends with Adam Ezra, who's more of a folk Americana writer, and suddenly they're making plans in 2 months to meet somewhere in Miami or Nashville or Boston to write a song. So, 8 years later, so many friendships and so many collaborations have come about because of this festival. And the average person doesn't get a chance to see that. And I'm fortunate enough that I see that. Sheena has made a lot of relationships because of this. I mean, many of the folks that are going to be in her round today, come from relationships forged at this festival. So that's what I think I'm most excited and proud about, is the community that we've built of the songwriters themselves. Despite the fact of the amazing shows we put on, which I can't be more proud of either, but it's the relationships that are forged, collaborations, the songs that are written. Imagine, I would love to figure out all the songs that have been written in those houses and in those South Seas and Queen Waters at 3 o'clock in the morning after a big night of shows. Mm-hmm. I would love, wouldn't it be great if we could put together like a compilation Spotify playlist of all those songs, because they're there. I haven't been able to figure out a way to quantify that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for making these connections possible, because that's what you've done, and you've done an outstanding job. And the diversity in music and people, it's reflected, on the stage and in the audience more and more. And so thank you, Dan. I really appreciate it.
Jackie,
we appreciate it.
As I say, takes a village to create a festival, and this partnership that we've had with Visit Fort Myers, VCB, and iHeart has been really a match made in heaven, because even though we all have completely different goals and objectives, we all come together for a common goal of putting on an extraordinary event, and I think we've been very successful in that, and I just can't wait to see what lies ahead for this, because every year we add a new touch to it and make it different and unique.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being a guest.
Thank you, Jackie.
And we are going to move right along to our next guest, and they're here all the way from England, and they're coming over right now, and we've got writer Cindy Watts over here, so we're just going to get them all set up here in the chairs, and just, all good. Here, I'll scoot up over here.
That's the hottest chair known to man.
Which one?
This one here.
This one? Oh, no.
It's
good.
No, it's all right. I can. It's like a seat.
Put your fresh chair.
No, thank you, mate. I'll burn for a while.
Okay. All right. At the table right now is two of the three Bass brothers.
Yes, that's right.
Better known to you as Essex County. Yep. And we are here with Mark and Kieran.
How you doing? Yes.
Okay. And thank you.
Thanks for having us on the show, by the way.
This is your first time here?
Second.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. This time you're opening for Gary LeVox.
Yes, right. That's
we are,
exciting
very
stuff.
Surprisingly. Unreal. We've always been fans of Rascal Flatts and everything, so this is quite stunning.
Yeah, it'd be an honour to play with him.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And why is Island Hopper special?
Well, you know why it's special.
Okay, you're going back and forth with your voice here.
I know. I can't help but put on accents. Nathan always tells me off all the time for doing it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But no, it's just, I don't know, it's just an exciting place to come and play a load of music to new people and just share your music, really, and just hang out with people. Because it's just like a constant party here.
It's great.
And what's new? You've got some new music coming out?
We do. We just released a song called Fire It Up.
Yeah.
And then we've got a following EP coming out on the 30th of September, a self-titled EP. And that's coming out. Did I just say the date?
You did.
I just said it, didn't I?
You said the date.
So the 30th of September.
30th
that's
of
coming
September.
out. So
go
looking
and
forward
get
to
it,
that.
everybody.
And how many times have you been to Florida? What have you been to Southwest Florida? I know you've been here twice, performed here twice, but is this area familiar to you? Or?
It's very familiar, yeah, because we did Key West first, and then came here and did both. But it's all been really good energy. Years previous.
Previous, when we'd going it alone and stuff, we'd come out to Florida and we'd like have a manager for we had a manager in Florida for 2 years, so we're familiar with it, yeah.
And the what kind of, I guess, friends that you've made here, who have you connected with, at this festival that's been...
Oh, gosh. Well, last time it was Jeffrey Steele. Connected with him and did a lot of singing. It was great. Who else? Steve Dorff comes here a lot. Steve Dorff, composer. Yeah. Fantastic. And I wish I met his son again. Stephen Dorff, the actor. Yeah, his son is fantastic.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, met him once, but yeah. But
we're not very good at remembering names. Nathan is the name man. He can remember everyone's
name.
He's the name.
And where is your brother? Where's the lead singer?
He's back home. He had a holiday booked
in Whittam.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Essex County, which is why we're called Essex County, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's having a great time. I don't know where he is.
But he should be here in a couple of days.
Is there something that you've been able to do here in this area that's been fun or meaningful to you?
Oh,
I think we just love the weather here. The storms here. We don't get them storms in the skies you have here in England. So
no, you don't. The culture change is just fantastic for musicians, and not bricklayers, because I can't keep doing that. I've got to be creative. No, it's been fun ever since we've done this. So I've been looking forward to coming back and staying in a lovely hotel. It's absolutely beautiful. We've got this red wristband on where we can just go and access to
anywhere.
Carte blanche, basically.
That's it.
Does the area does it provide any good fodder for future songs or?
I'm sure it does. What do you mean?
Does it I guess inspire you maybe to write future songs?
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Yes, because it's a different memory. It's different than Essex County.
Yeah. There's not much inspiration there.
It is. No, we definitely could write a song about this place, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I think need the staple of memory there in a song. Yeah, it's a great thing.
And your songs, what is it about them? Because they're not your traditional country. They're much more got the rock, the rock edge to them. And I was watching the Fired Up video that one of your fans had put together.
Oh yeah.
And it was this compilation of like old school Top Gun and just a lot of heat in that video. Let me just say. But what makes you gravitate toward country music?
I just think because every time we've done any genre, every time we sit down with an acoustic guitar, people will automatically go, "So you're country," but then the record is not country. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before that, we were kind of like doing a lot of sort of sometimes heavy metal music in Germany and sort of detuning and doing a lot of AOR music, like adult contemporary rock, which is 80s, early 90s based kind of music.
I'm all familiar with AOR.
There you go.
So very much into that sort of thing, and just kind of like merged it with the country, which I thought sounded great anyway.
You just want to bring back that 80s guitar feel back and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Van Halen vibrato,
A little bit.
With a Rocktron with a like chorus on it and stuff. I mean, the effects are not so much prominent now, but you could bring it back in a funny way if you wanted to hear it.
Which is, my next question is just like your influences. Your influences are, I'm sure they've changed from like 5 years ago to what they are now.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up listening. My dad would play stuff like Mike and the Mechanics and Richard Marx and stuff like that in the car. So we got mainly a lot of melodies.
Definitely. And the ambience of that music is fantastic as well.
But I think that's where the AOR influence comes from. But now we're sort of shifting into country. Now we're getting used to that sort of. Now we're blending.
And we want to use more keyboards as well, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So with all that electric going on, with Island Hopper, it kind of takes you back.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you mean what strips you back to?
It strips you back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Which we prefer, to be fair. We actually, we like to play live, but to sit
acoustic is another animal.
Yeah,
it's a great animal.
So you're opening for Gary LeVar.
Yes.
And will it be? I mean, that'll be a much more. There'll be more amps and it'll be more like your sound.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think we'll still play acoustic for that show.
Okay.
Because Only
get the electric out at some point when we can grab the rigs and everything. Because sometimes you only need little pedals now. They got it all in a box, but. Need to get that box. Yeah. So get some sponsors.
Need to get one of those boxes.
Well,
Thank you
guys,
very much.
I just want to thank you so much for taking the time
Thank
out
you
of your
for having us.
schedule
Really
for being here. I'm going to
appreciate
hold the
the
mic and
interview.
shake your hand that way. But thank
Have a
you.
great
you,
time
darling.
tonight, whatever
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Oh yeah. We're going to be, all.
I think we're all going to party later, aren't we?
Oh,
Are we? Is that what we're doing?
little AOR party.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
So,
mate.
but
messy.
thank you, Mark and Karen. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much, yeah.
this is 2/3 of Essex County, and
Two-thirds, that's all.
the best of Essex County. And
But when the third one's here, it's a complete mess.
I can only imagine. This has been enough right now. So, guys, thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
we love that you're here
Appreciate
supporting
you.
Island Hopper Songwriter Fest.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you, dear.
we've got Cindy Watts and Kristian Bush coming up, and we can move over. Kristian, is he going to come over here?
I will come to you.
Okay, well, you're very kind
Sweet love of life.
for doing that. You're doing that.
We do a lot of things,
They
but
do.
I would do this. I would say that Cindy Watts has more jobs than I do, and that's saying that she has more jobs than I have bands, and I have literally 4 bands right now.
You got Billy Pilgrim.
Billy Pilgrim is active again from the 90s, if you're a big 90s. You raised your AOR hand earlier. Sugarland and your country music. I have a new rock band called Darkwater, and then now I put out solo music. So when you see me, there's really no telling who I am.
It's a man of many bands, and we just got to say, 2-time Grammy Award winner.
Oh, but yeah, that's... Thank you.
Got to get that out. And the reason the two of you, Cindy, hello, thank you for
Hi.
being here. Cindy writes for CMT, Country Insider, People Magazine, and and again, thank you for being here for Island Hopper. You're getting the word out, and we love that. But the two of you are from Sevierville, Tennessee.
We are.
We are.
And as a girl from Paducah, Kentucky, I know.
Oh, you know of this.
I
We
know
speak.
of this, and I know the challenges of getting your hometown name out correctly. And that this is what started your podcast, the 52
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast. You two joined forces, and you have this really great conversational podcast. And I just wanted to talk about that real quick. With
I'll
both
let
of
her
you.
talk about it.
Talk about it.
It's the kind of thing where, well, no, people. This is a form of, stories and entertainment that people consume. I do it when I drive around. I'm not sure I listen to talk radio anymore. I think I listen to podcasts.
So, Kristian and I have done what we do on the podcast for years anyway. It's just every time. So before I did People, CMT and Country Insider, I spent about 20 years at the Tennessean and USA Today. So over that course of time, Kristian and I did what we do on the podcast. I just wrote stories about it for other publications. Now people listen to our conversations, and I still write stories about it for other publications, but now it's like people, they kind of get the behind the curtain view of the songs and how they come together and in those conversations. So I think it's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun. Kristian is hysterical.
Well, you both are. You both are with your jokes. It's like
those
who's
are
telling the
his.
jokes. Okay.
He tells the
Although
jokes.
you are getting into the joke, people need to tune in soon. The mom jokes are coming.
Oh God, I don't even remember.
Typically, it's a dad joke, but
Typically, it's a dad joke. We did several podcasts. I was in London twice last month, and we did a lot of podcasts on jet lag. I don't even remember what we talked about. But he sent me a text the other day, and he said, "We are funny," and I thought, "Oh God,
yeah, the one's coming up on Tuesday is really funny.
what did I say?" So,
My goodness.
tune in Tuesday.
Yeah, you should. And it's a lot of fun. And especially these days, especially when you talk about Island Hopper, one of the things you get when you come to see these things, you get to hear why a song happened. And sometimes it's very different than what you think how it happened. And what's weird is once you know, then you can't hear the song the same anymore in the future. Like sometimes it ruins it, sometimes it makes it 17 times better.
We were talking earlier about life in a northern town.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was the story. For
Oh,
some
yeah.
reason, I thought it had something to do with JFK. Because of the
Oh.
lyric. But no.
No.
So I learned something.
Yeah, it's
so
a
thank
Nick
you very
Drake.
much.
It was a
Nick-
song about Nick Drake that was written by the Dream Academy.
Yeah.
But when we covered it, only people of a certain age remembered it the
Right.
first time.
Right.
And I was just thrilled that was that kind of song where it's a cover song that we just recorded with our opening acts, and it ended up getting a Grammy nomination,
Amazing.
which shouldn't have happened. Like, that's the bumblebee of songs.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't fly.
No, it was stunning. Of course it should have gotten a Grammy nomination. It was sonically stunning.
Okay, we're going to dial it back in to Island Hopper.
Okay, good.
Okay, so what is it about this event? And then you're going to play a song, maybe a song for us.
I will
here.
play you a song, I
Thank you.
promise.
Thank you very much. Kristian showed up. He was the first person here for the podcast.
Don't ruin my
today.
reputation.
No. He's always the first person to everything, which is a kind of problem when you work with somebody and you're always the last person to the thing, and then they're the first person to the thing, so you have a complex.
Traditionally, my tour managers have been more rock star than me.
Well,
I'm always like, taking my vitamins, doing the yoga. But I take the job seriously, and I haven't had a job other than this job since I got out of college, because I don't know, for whatever reason, if you keep showing up early, knock on the microphone, they don't drop you off the label. Or if they do, then there's another label ready to pick you back up.
Somebody else will come pick you up, yep.
So with this event with Island Hopper, because you do other music festivals and everything, but what makes this one stand out?
Oh, well, first of all, it's a location, obviously, and what's interesting is this one moves different locations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a certain amount of discovery that happens at all of these festivals that is the actual currency. Mm-hmm. So at a certain point in your life, and I don't mean to be insulting to anyone listening, you just stop looking for new things, right? My 17-year-old, my 20-year-old still look for new music all the time. But when you hit like 40-something, you're kind of just listening to that music you already like. So it is rare that the heart and the mind are open at the same time. And when you get into a place like Captiva, or you get into a place like Fort Myers, or Fort Myers Beach, you start getting into this place where your brain is open. And when it's open, you discover something that is brand new to you, and you love it, and then suddenly it's yours. That's what this is all about. It's about people. I mean, in my heart, these people you would have seen them at rock shows 20 years ago, and they don't want to give up the dream, but they don't want to go wait in line.
Right. And and this is something different every hour. And just real quick, this is a 10-day music festival. The 16th through the 25th. This weekend we're on Captiva. Next week we are in downtown Fort Myers. And then it wraps up out on Fort Myers Beach. So there's really something, a different experience for everyone. What do you want to play for us, Kristian?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So I have been on a real big rant recently about the idea that I should put out 52 songs on my 52nd birthday. And we're halfway through that year, and we're halfway through that promise. So half of the songs have been released. The other half are coming. I guess it starts again in a couple of weeks. But if you just go onto the internet and you type my name in, it will show up.
It will.
And this is the first song that came out of all of them, because when Cindy and I were talking originally, she was like, I think this has to be the first song. And I said, well, why do you think this has to be the first song? She says, well, it's about where you're from, but it's also a unique song. I had learned to dictate into my phone, give or take my southern accent. It tries to guess what I'm saying. And I was trying to find a way to write songs under pressure for the duration of a stoplight. And most of them sucked really bad. But this one happened on my way to my father's funeral in Newport, Tennessee, at the stoplight. And you could see the funeral home from where I was. And I'm sure the people around me thought I was crazy. And this is a completely unlikely song to have ever happened. But I want to play it for you, because now that you know this why I did it, you'll hear it inside the song, much like the way the Island Hopper thing works. Right? The other thing to remember is my dad didn't support my music very much. So it's an impossible thing. And most dads probably would say the same thing, like, please don't do this. Please get a real job, get a skill, do something, get a backup plan. And I just didn't. And there's a lot of, you got to say thank you to those people later in life, because without it, you would have never had access to the jet fuel you need to get it done. God bless the town I came from. God bless the city next to it. God bless everybody out there that told me I couldn't do it. God bless where I'm going. God bless my mistakes. God bless the road that's rolling underneath these Tennessee plains. If you look over and it looks like I'm talking to myself, probably just saying a prayer. I ain't crazy. I know you know everybody's been there, been in a good place, been in a tight spot, all the way up, back down the mountaintop, to the deep blue sea, and everywhere in between. God bless the town I came from. God bless the city next to it. God bless everybody out there that told me I couldn't do it. God bless where I'm going. God bless my mistakes. God bless the road that's rolling underneath these Tennessee plains. If you're wondering who I am, I'm the one. Can't stop chasing the sun. That's why I'm headed west. Sign says Mississippi River's on up. It's lonely after midnight. One with the busted taillight. Don't look like much from the outside. Don't worry about me, I'm gonna be alright. God bless the town I came from. God bless the city next to it. God bless everybody out there that told me I couldn't do it. God bless where I'm going. God bless my mistakes. God bless the road that's rolling underneath this Tennessee plains. God bless all the wrong turns. Turn this thing around. God bless the Main Street stoplight where I wrote this whole thing down.
Love that song.
Love
that song. It's so good.
And that's how it started.
Love it.
Aww, we got you all emotional now.
See, I cried the first time I heard it too, and it was years before it came out. Yeah, years before we were in a tiny bar in Nashville, and we played that song, and I was just boo-hooing at the table, and people were like, "What's wrong with her?"
Oh, you know, my one of my favorite writers is Connie Harrington, and we write together, and she always tells me, because she drags that kind of stuff out of me, and like spools come like coming off of spools, and she said, "Kristian, never forget, in country music, tears are money."
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I
Well
was like,
done.
"Yes, ma'am."
Should be a shirt.
Yeah.
Well done. I think that's a wonderful note to end this podcast on.
Yes. Come see us play.
Tune
You never
into the
know.
podcast, and tune into the podcast on Tuesdays.
That's right. 52 comes out every Tuesday. It'll keep you company. It's only like 30, 40 minutes long. We look at two songs. One song that's from the new records, and one song that's any song from my past. So Sugarland, Billy Pilgrim. Like, turns out I have a lot more back there than I thought I did.
But you also learn a lot about Kristian on these podcasts too.
I'm taller than you think I am.
Yes, and he's really like 7 feet tall.
Such a nice guy. And thank you both for being here. So that is going to do it for this episode of Shellcast. And we want to thank Dan Spears of BMI, Cindy Watts, the writer for Country Insider, CMT, and People, and probably many other publications, and our singer-songwriters, Sheena, Brook, and the guys from Essex County, Karen and Mark, and Kristian Bush, who is in every band. Think of a band, he's probably in it, and he's also with Cindy and the 52 podcast. We appreciate all of your time and wish you all the best here at Island Hopper Songwriter Fest. And we also want to give a shout out and thank Sheena for the new music, our new theme music. It's new and we absolutely love it. Shellcast, the podcast of Fort Myers, Islands, Beaches, and Neighborhoods, is produced by the Lee County Visitor and Convention Bureau in Fort Myers, Florida. Shellcast, the official award-winning podcast, is available wherever you download your favorite podcasts, and you can follow along on Instagram. And if you have any questions, you can email us at shellcastthepodcast@gmail.com. And I'm Jackie Parker. Thank you very much for listening to Shellcast, and we will catch you again next time. Oh, and download that Island Hopper Songwriter app. Take care.
A short commute or a cold drink on a hot day. It feels good, but does it feel good? Fort Myers, Islands, Beaches, and Neighborhoods are where good really means good. Relax on natural, secluded beaches or hop between barrier and coastal islands. Collect colorful seashells from the hundreds that wash ashore each day. Paddle water trails lined with lush mangroves and explore vibrant neighborhoods. Plan for good days at visitfortmyers.com.